everyone, and once again, warm welcome back to the DrMBalmer channel. Now, today we're going to do something we haven't done on this channel before. So, what I have in front of me is a box with Acer written on it. So you might suspect that this is actually a laptop, and in that case you're correct. So some background. I was chosen as a testing pilot for the Acer Aspire 14 AI OLED laptop. So I did have to pay for this, but I am supposed to get my money back and then a little bit on top for the effort of reviewing this. So I thought that why not, instead of me just reviewing it by myself, why don't I share it with you all? So I will of course aim at being as unbiased as I can, of course, and my goals are, of course, that we should have a good review of this. Now I won't maybe go into all details. Laptops are things that have a lot of attributes to them. Some are objective, some are subjective. You know, we have look and feel, we have performance. This is also an AI PC. I am not sure if we will cover the AI part of it or not. We will see as we go along. But so yeah, I am testing this in collaboration with Opinigo. So like I said, yeah, let's start by just opening this up. Now I have my scales here, so let's just do a quick weight measurement of the box first of all. That's 2.3 kilos or 5 pounds 1 ounce. Right, and we shall of course take a weight measurement after we have opened this. So we can see that the seal here has been broken, so I have to check that I got everything that I needed, but I haven't turned the laptop on yet. What do we get? Well, some standard papers that list all kinds of things that basically just a waste of wood. We get a small folder, or a folder, but a small quick start manual. Yeah, using it the first time, connecting the charger, stuff like that. So let's see here what it says. Using wireless LAN as usual. If using wired LAN, with a USB to LAN converter cable, optional. So yeah, that's a bit of a sad thing that you need it and that it isn't included. So here we got some more paperwork. So we got some more papers here, and warranty stuff, basically. But we will skip the warranty stuff. It's not fun reading. Right now, at least. Oh yeah, we got some more regulatory information and safety guide. Also, waste of trees. Okay, we have a little box here. And I just noticed, let's see, it's printed over here. You can fold it into a triangle shaped thing and use it as a leg for your laptop to raise it up a bit, which I suppose will help a bit with cooling, if nothing else. But I mean, is this the way it goes? I suppose Acer is riding the green wave, so to speak. So they don't have to include like a real stand made of aluminium or plastic even. As long as they supply this. It's of course good that you can reuse part of the packaging for the power supply, but yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's a good way of greenwashing. But there we go. That's the year of 2025 that we live in. This is what you get with your laptop investment, let's say. So the retail price of this, from where I bought it, or was instructed to buy it, was about $1,000 US equivalent with free shipping. So we have the charger. However, the charger isn't riding the greenwashing wave, since it comes in a single-use plastic bag. At least there's only one of them so far. The charger itself is pretty small. Be careful, it may become hot. So it's I wonder what the efficiency of this is like. But I suppose that let's have a closer look here. I will read it out here. So it's 5 volts, 15 watts, 20 volts, 65 watts. So 5 volts, 3 amps, 9 volts, 3 amps, 12 volts, 3 amps, 15 volts, 3 amps, and 20 volts, 3.25 amps. So this is USB, power delivery glorified USB charger. So I suppose you could charge your phone with this as well. Now let's undo this, because I want to check. This laptop is a 14-inch laptop. We can actually remove it from this contraption. We get a soft sort of case. We got a solid feeling chunk, I must say. So it being a 14-inch laptop, I think that you might not be wrong if you assume it will be used in maybe travel-like conditions. So let's see some specifications over here. We got the Intel Core Ultra 5 processor 226V, which is, I believe, the lowest end Ultra 5 Intel processors. I think it's an... Is it a 4 performance core and 4 efficient core CPU? Maybe. We have 14-inch OLED display, and we have Intel Arc 130V GPU, 16GB of LPDDR5X memory, half a terabyte of SSD, Wi-Fi 6E plus Bluetooth, (65 Wh) lithium-ion battery, 1 month trial for new Microsoft 365. Credit card required. So first of all, given that $1,000 is not free, the sort of specification-wise judgment. Oh, let's try to stand. Or should it be? Yeah, how did they draw it? Like this. Okay. And we got some protection for the keyboard. Now, yeah, what I was saying is, specification-wise, it's a pretty low-end CPU. It should be fine for travel type of work, I suppose. You know, office, web browsing, streaming. And you have the OLED. There is a version of this which isn't OLED, which has an IPS display, I think, and well, I think the OLED might save this model. Well, it's a small form factor PC, what can I say? The issue with the Intel 226V CPU is that it has an soldered, non-expandable, non-replaceable DDR5 RAM memory, which on this model, then it is a 16GB RAM capacity. I think that that will be probably already sort of a thing that I will dislike the most of this device, because 16GB of RAM in 2025, I think especially DDR5, they would have easily been able to start at 32GB, maybe 24 if that's a thing, but 16. Anyway, let's weigh this laptop. 1,322 grams, which is 2 pounds 14.6 ounces. Now, what does it weigh when you travel with this? You have to bring, if you don't have a power delivery USB charger, you bring this. And then you're up at 1,646 grams, or 3 pounds 10 ounces. Now, the Portability, of course, is important for a device like this because of its small form factor. It's not a standard 15-inch laptop, so it's pretty neat. Well, the weight could have been closer to 1 kilogram maybe than 1.4, but it feels sturdy. So that's also, I mean, there is an upside to it. So I suppose that considering you would travel with this maybe, weight is a factor, but also the length, the reach of the charging device, the charging adapter. So we have a simple strap here. And I will measure the cable length of this. So I think we're at 1.5 meters. Well, 1.5 will be a stretch, but 147, so maybe it wasn't completely I didn't apply all the possible tension. So 1.5 meters, and if I flip this, then I should see, no, it's not inches on the other side. So 1.5 meters, I will either put the feet and inches somewhere here on the screen, or if I forget, you have to look it up yourself. But that's 1.5 meters from the brick to the USB-C plug. Then we also have the length of the charging device itself, which is 9 centimeters. So 159, let's say 160, and then we have this lead. Of course, you could buy a longer lead of this type, and then you would be good. But it's nice to have to know if you have enough before traveling and buying the laptop, you know. So yeah, that's almost 100 centimeters, so 1 meter. Yeah, don't you just love the metric system? Sorry, everyone. Right. So I suppose we should charge it up the first time. So let's actually do that. So we have a 160 plus 100. That's 260 centimeters, 2.6 meters of reach, which I suppose isn't a whole lot. But you know, hopefully yeah, let's actually check the ports here before we charge it up. So let's see if it wants to focus. Yeah. So we have the charging ports, USB-C, and we have an HDMI output, USB-A with the battery charging symbol. So I suppose you could get some juice out of this port for charging your cell phone, maybe. Kensington lock port, another USB-A port, combined headset port, 3.5 millimeters, and indicator lights for battery and power, I suppose. On the flip side, well, nothing too fancy. We have some holes here, protrusions, and yeah, also I'm not sure if I am allowed to unscrew this to have a look inside or not. I think maybe not for this part of the review before I'm done with it. So maybe I won't be able to have a look inside of this unit just yet, at least. Unfortunately, but we'll see. So it has a nice finish, and let's plug it in. But port-wise, I think that they should have included a USB to Ethernet port, at least. Device kind of thing. So let's connect that there, and I will plug this in to an outlet. Right, I have plugged it in, and I immediately noticed that well, the cable length of the charger is already an issue. From my sort of kitchen table or dining table, it was a stretch, let's say, to reach an outlet on a nearby wall, which is about 2 meters away, or so, yeah. So I don't have a lot of slack here, but it's enough. So yeah, we shall see that, yes, we do have, let's see if it wants to focus here. Yeah, we have an orange light here saying it's charging. We have the ability to open this 180 degrees, it seems, but not more. So you can't do a Lenovo Yoga thing from it. But it's good that it can lay flat, at least, I suppose. The camera options here, I don't see any physical sort of slider to be able to close off the webcam physically, which is also a shame. That should be standard by now, or I'm missing something, I don't know, maybe. No, I don't see any such thing, at least. Another aspect, before we turn this on, because we will get distracted once it's turned on, the touchpad. It's sufficiently large, I think. Of course, your sort of hand flesh will touch it when you type, but I suppose it won't cause an issue. However, I don't like the non-existing left-right mouse buttons for the touchpad. Like, oh, I understand what they're trying to do, but I like the old Lenovo R40 kind of laptops with buttons both at the bottom and the top side. So when you're writing, you have the thumbs on the on the left and right buttons. Or if you're using it like this, then you have your thumbs on the lower buttons. But here we don't have any top buttons, only bottom ones, and they're not clearly divided. Well, I'm very interested in seeing the OLED performance of this, so let's turn it on. We got some backlight. Ooh, yeah, display output. Now allow me to just change the angle a bit of the camera, but immediately I can see actually that the display is an OLED. It's very nice actually in the contrast. The black levels are just black, you know. It's a fairly glossy finish, so I do get a lot of reflections from my point of view here. I do like matte displays better. Right, so well, I suppose I shall set this up, and then I won't bother you with the steps here, but I suppose it's just following the wizard.
To set up your device using a screen reader, turn on narrator by pressing Windows and Control and Enter. For more accessibility features, press Windows and U, or select the accessibility icon in the bottom corner.
Right, so we already got the AI aspect of, I suppose, the AI voice of Microsoft. So yeah, I will set this up, but before doing that, let me just turn off all the lights here and we shall see what it all looks like. Having turned off the lights, we have a very much different setting here. So let me try to press the some button here, so maybe we'll get some backlight. This one does not seem to well, maybe, or did I maybe press something? It didn't detect me just having my hands here, was what I was trying to say. But the backlight, I suppose we could adjust it as well. Do we have quick buttons? Maybe. Right, so on the F11 we can have it turned off. First setting, second setting, and off. So basically have three modes. Right. So this is the brightest mode. I suppose it's good enough. Anyway, I will set this up and oh, let's try the mouse pad. We can zoom in and out. Well, it is responsive. Not the best nor the worst. It's good enough for now. Yeah, let's try the scrolling. Yeah, seems responsive enough. Right, well, let me set this up and I'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah, it maybe doesn't pick up on camera, but it actually looks pretty nice. With the OLED display. I'm very interested to see how the sort of image, microphone, how the sort of image retention stuff works on OLEDs these days. But yeah, let's allow it to finish and we shall be back shortly. Oh yeah, now, so I was doing this. Maybe there is a little bit of PWM. I can see a few fingers. So, but not too much maybe. It's not too bad. It's when I sort of scroll my eyes. Oh, it's not bad actually. So yeah, back in a moment. Yeah, so a little while was maybe me being a bit optimistic because, well, of course it had to find some updates. Where would we be without updates to Windows OS? Well, in the meantime, while it does that, I would like to expand a bit on what I see like immediately with this device. I suppose that regarding the charging, since it's a USB-C charging device, if you have another travel charger maybe with you when you travel, and it has power delivery, 65 watts seems to be at least what you need. If you have 8500 watts, even better. Then of course you can use that, but you need to also bring a decent lead, and you know, you need still to be able to connect it somewhere from where you're working. And the battery time will also be interesting with this, and performance. So considering this is the sort of low-end 5 series Intel chip, well, we might get some battery life out of it, but at the same time I'm wondering what kind of performance we get. We will try this with PC Mark, 3D Mark. So for playing games on this, I think you'd be a bit disappointed maybe, since it's just an iGPU in the Intel 226V CPU. Well, so what are the use cases of this device? Now, before I have tested it, my intuition tells me that it's like a bring along device for you who travel, maybe a bit, or you know, for students, universities, stuff like that. So it has a small enough form factor to carry around. The weight is not the lowest maybe on the market, but it's sturdy and it feels solid. And if the battery life is lasts a whole day of you know, typing and maybe watching videos and stuff like that, then that will probably be a pretty good use case for it. And with the OLED display, I suppose it should draw a lot less power if you're using dark mode settings on in your web browser and Visual Studio if you're a programmer, or any application basically. But I'm wondering, with the 16 gigabytes, it becomes sort of a an issue. As soon as you want to get into, let's say, video editing, like if I would edit this video on this machine, which I maybe will try, just to tell you about my experiences. I'm currently using the Microsoft Clipchamp. Microsoft Clipchamp. For editing videos, since I'm a newbie at that, it's sort of convenient for me. Still, not having more than 16 gigabytes and not having the ability to, I mean, you got your $1,000 PC, you're ready to take on the world, you know, even if you're a student. Yes, you do a lot of typing, you do a lot of office work, you have the TPU for integrated TPU for AI calculations, AI support. You can do all the create images, summarize texts, all of that, which is probably good if you're a student or something, and traveling maybe, and you get an OLED display so you can watch movies nicely. You get the contrast, maybe good battery life, maybe. But then, well, you only get a half a terabyte disk or SSD in this, so I would probably have to replace it to at least the double, so at least 1 terabyte. Maybe squeeze in a 2 terabyte drive, but this only has one M2 slot, so you can't add another one. You have to replace the one that's there, and of course you can use the half terabyte one in an M2 external M2 case and plug it in via USB-C or something. So that's possible, but so then you have spent $1,000, and then you have to spend maybe $100 on a 1 terabyte drive. Of course, you get a half terabyte back, sort of as a USB drive, but still. So then you have spent $1,100, and you still only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, well, 16 gigabytes is simply not enough for video editing. And not only that, for playing games as well, I doubt that this integrated GPU chip in this one will handle gaming especially well. So maybe, well, you're maximum gonna run a 1080p, right? Anyway, with the display and everything being it's not a 4K display on 14 inches, so it's a 1610, so it should be 1920 by 1200, which is nicer than 16:9, of course, I think. But yeah, 16 gigabytes, that's nothing today. There's like some NVIDIA kind of thing where they squeeze in 8 gigabytes of VRAM, you know, on a very expensive GPU nowadays, which is just sad. And I don't know, a new PC, okay, 16 gigabytes, this should have cost $599, $699 tops. So I don't know about you, but when I search for a laptop on some price comparison site, what I do is I basically filter on maybe, do I want an Intel or AMD system, or number of cores, but also I set the minimum of RAM to what I want, and that is not 16 usually. In that case, especially if it's soldered on, I'm fine with buying a laptop with 16 gigs of RAM if I get a good price on it, and it's 16. I buy it and then I swap it out to 32 gigabytes or 64, and then I have a 16 spare in case the RAM fails. Oh, and yeah, that's another thing. I have had RAM sticks fail in both desktops and laptops many times. So if the RAM in this one fails and 1 year has passed, you're out of this sort of standard warranty. So here in Sweden we have 3 years of sort of extended, not warranty, but RMA sort of thing, if you can prove that the issue was in the device when you bought it, and that caused some issue within the 3 years. But so after a year, if the RAM goes bad because it gets hot in there, maybe, or whatever, you know, RAM sticks fail, RAM chips fail, are you maybe then screwed? So I don't like this soldered on trend, and if it is soldered on, then the price should be way, you know, it should compensate for it in some way. And the warranty has to be like 5 years, 7 years, at least 5. So you feel that, okay, RAM went bad, I sort of file a claim or create a ticket on Acer's website, and they at least either send you a new motherboard with everything soldered onto it, or you will have to send your computer in somewhere, and of course you should get a free shipping back and forth kind of label thing. But wouldn't it be, I think it's anti-consumer. That's the correct word. The wording for it is anti-consumer. And this anti-consumerism in the year of 2025, when we get more and more right to repair sort of advocacy, I mean, fine, $399 computer, $599 computer, I can see that the costs will have been cut, and basically once 16 gigabytes is not enough, you throw it out and you buy a new one. But $1,000 is still a lot of money. So, you know, that's the sort of setting up pit stop rant about this. So before having even used this yet, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So there are faster chips than the 226. Was it the 228V from Intel, with also soldered on, but 32 gigabytes of RAM, I think. And then that's a whole different story. That might last you a few years. It's definitely a lot more than 16, that's for sure. But so far, yeah, we're installing, and let me have a listen. It's actually completely quiet. I will put my microphone to the air outlets here. yeah, so far it's quiet. I do have some machine here in the background running, so that, but I don't hear any noise yet. So if it's very energy efficient, of course, with a lower end CPU, that would be perhaps also extend the battery life and your ear life, not having to listen to a whiny sound when just, you know, even if it's installing something on Windows Update. Oh my, there are many aspects of a laptop, and well, listening to me ranting about things is maybe fun for a minute or two, but I'm sorry for having wasted your time maybe on the rant. But yeah, I'm fine with a slower CPU, but RAM, I usually want the most RAM over anything else in a system, because if you have enough RAM, you won't be swapping to disk. You get performance boost. You get extend your life of your SSD because you're not swapping constantly to it. And also the RAM should be replaceable. If it's replaceable, you extend the life of it. You know, a system may feel slow when you have Windows 15 or something, but maybe usually the CPU is fast enough if you just swap in more RAM as demand increases over the years. So, well, yeah, I'm not too happy about that aspect of it, as you maybe have understood now by my rant. So anyway, I will let it install, and we shall do some testing in Windows and test the keyboard and the mouse pad and performance. Have a look at battery life maybe, and yeah. So just give me a, well, it will be like a second for you, but I will have to wait for this. So it's pretty. I don't know how many updates there are in the background, but is it the PC that is slow, or is it just a lot of updates? Anyway, I'm back in a moment. Finally, we are logged in to Windows, and yeah, so first of all, let's check the bloatware situation, sort of. This is the highest setting on the display, and then we can decrease it to a very dim level, but let's keep it at max right now. So we got some Acer bloat, Acer documents, jumpstart, legal information, assist on Acer assist on store, Acer live art. Maybe that's some of the AI sort of things. Question is how good they are. But we also have like booking and click to do preview and Dropbox promotion. Basically, yeah, McAfee, which is more or less malware than anything else. Yeah, Clipchamp. So NordVPN and stuff. Some games and yeah, okay. So a little bit of bloat, and also in the taskbar we have Dropbox promotion, unpin, booking, unpin, store, unpin, you know, Outlook, unpin, Copilot we have, and Dropbox, and Yeah, McAfee is running, so that must be uninstalled, of course. Buy a subscription and stuff, you know. So let's have a look in the task manager what the situation is like. So we have a bit of a CPU load situation. Workloads session host. Not sure what that is, but it's really tanking the CPU. And then we have McAfee, of course. Let's see what the situation is here. Yeah, 226V, so we have 8 cores and 8 logical cores. But yeah, I'm not sure of the situation, but I'm pretty sure that a laptop or any PC out of the box should not be sort of hovering around 40–50% utilization. Now maybe there's some background install things going on or something still, but yeah. Oh, and then memory. So 60%, 58%, 59% already being used. I haven't done anything yet. I have just finished the setup of the system. So that's not very good, because yeah, if we're already at 9.3, 9.1 gigabytes, if I start some Clipchamp or I open just a few tabs, let's do that. Right, I have set up Edge, and I opened 5 tabs, 3 of which are Microsoft landing page and for Outlook, and then Microsoft's main page and Amazon. And yeah, we're at 10.5 gigabytes now, so 66%, 67%. 68%. So, and we're gonna be swapping a lot of RAM to disk, basically back and forth if this continues. So I am not sure exactly how they imagine this. Like, I have only booted the computer up. Like, why am I already out of RAM? To me, that's pretty insane, actually. 16 gigabytes is nothing today. So, programs and features. Let's see what bloat we can remove. Actually, I don't know if this is visible, but I will try to turn off the light here. So, we can see a little bit of PWM things, but what's worse to my eyes is I can see the display flickering a bit in the light output, sort of. Or is it just decreasing? It seems like it's decreasing the light output. It's like a pulsating the amount of light. That's very odd. Let's see if I can maybe there's a new driver or something for the display, but yeah, it's very annoying to the eyes that is that like the picture isn't stable. The light output sort of pulsates. Which is very, very, very odd. So it doesn't matter if I lower the yeah, as I lower we can see the PWM flickering stuff, but to my eyes it's just like I can see some flickery. The image isn't really stable, or the light output isn't, rather. So that's I will of course try to update any drivers, and we shall and we shall see, but and actually I'm not gonna uninstall anything right now because I want the sort of full-on experience. However, the flickering, light flickering, it's less noticeable like on a web page, but when I had this control panel up with like a bright window, yeah, I could see that the light output sort of flickered, which is very odd. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I'm not 100% satisfied with the. Oh yeah, now we have McAfee at 25% as well. That's a bummer. Let's open that up and see what it wants. Trial for 30 days, yeah. Great. All right. Let's try to type something on it. Let's have that, and then let's see here. Hello, I am trying to type on on the new Acer Aspire AI 14 OLED laptop. Works great. The keyboard is actually pretty nice to type on. So far I haven't managed to accidentally tap the power button. At least that's a good thing. Right. So well, I must say it's not bad actually. The keyboard is fine. Only, of course, I need to. I mean, muscle memory makes it hard to adapt to a new keyboard layout or new keyboard dimensions from day one. So I'm mistyping a lot, but this is actually not bad. Right. Yeah. You have like a distinct actuation point, and yeah, they feel pretty nice. Not too much travel on the keys themselves, but it's okay. So now if I want to press delete, I almost pressed the on-off button. What happens if I do that accidentally? Like, I want to press delete and I press this. Nothing happened. Oh, okay. So it maybe for turning on, maybe, yeah, and then this isn't mapped to turning the PC off by default. That's at least a good attention to detail. Because then if you want to turn it off, you'll go to the start menu and choose to shut down or sleep or whatever. So that's good at least, yeah. Okay, but so far I'm actually pretty pleased. Let's close it up. The fan was spinning this time around, but not too much. So let's measure the thickness. I suppose it's the thickest here. 1.6 centimeters. So that's oh yeah, now I have some fan noise. But it's pretty quiet, especially from a distance. But we're of course not sort of loading the system with anything much. So even though I waited for so long for it to finish the setup, it already downloaded a lot of stuff. Well, it's a lot of Intel, Acer, Microsoft. It's just full of it. So yeah, I will bring this computer up to date, and then we shall do some performance testing. But I have to say, the display is nice. The OLED part of it is nice, but I'm a bit worried about the sort of pulsating backlight. Although this time I don't see it. Of course, I was in the programs and features. Yeah, for some reason it's better now. Although, no, it's starting to pulsate a bit. Anyway, I will bring this up to date with Windows Update and any drivers. And we shall do some performance testing and stuff. But I do generally like the display, the colors, and the contrast. It's hard to record it maybe, but you just have to mark my word, I suppose. The keyboard is nice. It did actually misactuate on the touchpad with my palm while typing, trying to do a search in the Windows start menu. But I suppose that if we bring everything up to date with drivers and stuff, it should be better. But then we will do some performance tests and stuff. Yeah, let's actually check display settings. So yeah, brightness, night light, where do we have? Oh yeah, scale is at 150 as well. 1920 1200. Let's see what it looks like on 100%. Ooh. Yeah, it's a lot sharper now, of course, but a lot smaller as well. So for our purposes, maybe we can scale it a bit. Also, advanced display settings. Yeah, we're at 60 Hz and we only have 60 Hz. Dynamic refresh rate isn't supported. Standard and dynamic range. Yeah, but let's actually have a look at Device Manager before we end this session. So allow me to zoom in a bit. So first of all, it's good that we don't have any exclamation marks here or anything like that. So Acer has at least made sure that out of the box everything has a driver. But now when I have a white surface again, once again I'm seeing the sort of flickery backlight. And yeah, the text isn't too sharp now because I have a 150% scaling, which is a bummer. Yeah, CPUs. Let's see the yeah, biometric devices. We don't have a fingerprint sensor. I would like to have a fingerprint sensor. I don't like the facial recognition mumbo jumbo stuff. It's not safe enough, and it requires good light and everything. Let's see here, display adapters there. Driver. Yeah, so the driver is from September 27th of last year, 2024. So the driver, probably there is a new one. So it's an Intel Arc mobile GPU with 8 GB of video RAM. Right, but okay, it's good that, let's see the monitor here, integrated monitor. Maybe there is some driver for it. I'll have to check Acer's website maybe as well and the stuff there. But let's see also the network adapters. We have an Intel AX211 160 MHz Wi-Fi 6E adapter, and the driver is also from 2024. So we have the Intel driver updater or driver assistant, whatever it's called. Maybe we should have a look there. But there's a lot of Windows updates and Acer stuff. I think I will have to bring this up to date. It's a bit sad that you have to spend so much time and that you get some bloat as well, especially on a computer with 16 GB RAM. You don't want the McAfee and other types of bloat with their background processes and stuff just, you know, tanking the system. Anyway, but I suppose that's the way the world looks as of today. However, so yeah, this is interesting, and this will conclude part 1, I think, and join me in part 2, where we will do some performance tests on an up-to-date system. Alright, so thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you in part 2 shortly. Bye bye.